Hey everyone, it's Robin. Welcome to my desk. I have a video for you tonight about plotter planners. I have fallen down the plotter rabbit hole and I would like to share with you some of my discoveries and thoughts about these planners, why they're working for me, how they're working for me, how I have some of them set up so far. And then after that, I'm going to talk about the differences in the leathers so that if any of you are interested in plotter or have been considering purchasing a plotter, but you're kind of undecided about the leathers, I will show you what I see as differences in the plotters that I have. And then at the very end, if you have one of the smaller sized plotters, I found a very helpful tool that I'm going to share with you at the end of the video. So stick around if you're interested in the tool that I found. I didn't think something like this existed, so I'm really kind of excited about it. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. My planner of choice for the past 6, 7, maybe more years has been the Hobonichi Weeks. This planner checks all of the boxes for me in so many ways. I like the layout. I like having a week at a glance. I like having the monthly calendar in another section. I like the right-hand page blank for notes or whatever I want to write. It's definitely my favorite planner that I've found to date. I don't need a whole lot of room. I don't have that busy of a life. My schedule up till this year has been regular. There's no need for me to track hours or shifts. So this little planner, and this is very portable, right? But the one thing that I dislike about the Hobonichi Weeks is all of the pages in the back. So we're going to jump right into why. I'm going to move 2 of these out of the way, and we're going to start with the first plotter that I purchased, and it is the narrow plotter, which is basically a personal sized cut off just a bit, like maybe 3/4 of an inch. So it's narrow. When I found out that Plotter made a narrow planner, I immediately thought to myself, I'm going to take my weeks, I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put it in the ring planner. I'd tried to do this many times with personal planners in the past, but for a variety of different reasons, I never stuck to it. I think that the rest of my inserts were just a little bit too large, and I didn't want to, I couldn't find other inserts that were smaller, nor am I smart enough on my computer to modify personal size inserts to make them more narrow and retain the height. So anyways, long story short, I gave it up and I just was using the Hobonichi Weeks book. So how is it working for me? Because really, I had an extra from 2023, and that's the one that I cut up. This is the one that I had been using and planning in, and for a little bit of time, I've been trying to keep up both planners. You can see where the ink changes. This is where I bought my plotter planner. But I've been using this for all of 2023, actually, since probably November, right? Or whenever it starts, the end of November. And there's something bittersweet about saying goodbye to a planner that you're literally 6 weeks away from finishing to the end of the year. So I thought to myself, well, I'll just keep both of them going just in case this doesn't work. Then I can fall back on my bunny 2023 weeks book. But there's no need, you guys. This is going to be absolutely my jam. I will be 100% cutting up one of my 2024 weeks books to live in this plotter planner. Why? Why, if it's the same, am I so gung-ho about moving into the rings for the weeks book? It's all about those back pages. I have struggled when I've used the back of the week's book in a variety of different ways. I've tried using the index, and I am not an index maker. Every year I have high hopes that I will use this section, write something down. The pages are all numbered. It should be easy. But as much as I like to lay out, I'm going to use these pages for this. And then on page 10, I'm going to start something new, and I will have that section for that. As hard as I try, books just don't work for me when it comes to like making a bujo, or unless you are like literally using it as you're going along. And when I try to do that, when I try to use the pages as I need them consecutively, I get really frustrated with not being able to find information when I'm looking for it, which is generally speaking when I'm at a store looking for what kind of printer ink cartridge I need, or what size the furnace filter is. All of those pieces of information that have a space in here that either is in the back and I have to rewrite it every year over and over and over again, or it's just in there someplace and it's not indexed, and I'm flipping around and I can never find it when I'm looking for it. I'm a very visual person, and I can see it where it lives on a page and what color ink I wrote it in, but flipping through all these pages to find it is just a killer for me. I found myself frustrated more than one time, so I just don't use the back of this notebook. I just don't. So when I moved everything into my narrow planner, I moved just to see how it would all fit. I have in my unboxing video and where I chopped my week's book out, I think I went over all of this, but I've got the year at a glance on 2 pages. I've got the monthly calendars in here. And then I actually have all of the, yeah, those are monthly calendars. I think I have the whole thing. I have from November of 2022 all the way through the end of the year, and the calendar weekly pages takes up this much room. So, oops, that's a lie. I missed some after my divider. And there we go. There it is. So that is the functional part of my planner. I struggle to even use the monthly calendars. I haven't really figured out a purpose for that in what works for me for an on-the-go carry. So after the weeklies, I have a Filofax ruler, and I appreciate that I can use things from my personal rings to work in this planner, because Lord knows I have a stash of things that work in personal rings. I have a whopping 3 pages of paper, and in the 3 weeks that I've owned this planner, I have written 0 on these pages. Now, that's not going to stay that way. When I have the time, what I would like to do is build up maybe just a few sections with like house information and things that I own as far as art supplies or marker colors or wish lists in here, and I can section those off so that I know where they are, and I can put the things that aren't used to the back and the ones that I will look at frequently to the front. And if I don't like it, I can pull the pages out, I can rearrange them, I can do whatever I want, and that is what I love about rings. It's not permanent. The stuff that is permanent will be in the front, the calendars, and then I can do whatever I want to in the back without having to worry about it. So this is still a work in progress for me. I think that the back of this book will definitely grow and blossom as I continue to use this planner. I think in my mind, I'm a little bit waiting for 2024 to start, you know, with the whole new fresh planner and everything. And then I'll get the back going, but I likely will start working on it before then. So how is this working for me? I absolutely love it. It's it's going to be totally my jam. It's slim, it's portable, it comes with a closure, it comes with a pen holder. It does not have pockets. I don't need it to have pockets. I don't need my week's book to be part of my wallet carry. It's just going to work out well. So in a nutshell, that's how I'm using it. That's how I like it. My only complaint to this point is that this elastic band, which fits snug, I don't, there's no give to it at all. But in my pocketbook, which is a vintage Coach backpack, so it's basically a huge bucket with straps on it, and I don't carry a lot of things in that bag. I like to have the space in case I'm out shopping and I want to put something that I purchase in there and not carry bags around. Because it's such a black hole, this planner just gets bounced around in there, and every time I go to look for it, the elastic has come off. So that's probably not this planner's fault. It's likely my fault. And my workaround, until I change my bag that I'm carrying with me every day, my workaround is just to put this in a little bag of some kind. That's a little bit of a hassle, but I will absolutely do it to enjoy this planner. It fits my favorite pen. It's a TWSBI mini, a little TWSBI mini. And it's no fuss pulling this in and out of the pen loop. I would suggest for those of you who are thinking of this planner to make sure that you have a fountain pen that has a twist on cap, because if it's a cap that just pulls off the top of the pen, or if it's a pen clip that, like on a Kaweco, the pen clips slide on the pens, I think that until this gets broken in, that those things could be problematic. So that's my story with this planner. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to take this and put it off to the side, and we're going to move this planner into the spotlight. And I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit on this because it is a tiny little guy. This is my Mini 5, and I bought this purposefully for the job that I just got. I wanted to have a notebook to carry around with me, something that I could either slide in my pants pocket, or since I've started working, I've purchased one of the Fjallraven hip pouches. So I put that like fanny pack, and I put this and some notes and a little package with Band-Aids and lip gloss and all the things that, aspirin and all those things that you might need on the go. I put them all in my fanny pack, and I'm good to go. So this is perfect for me. I will put my driver's license and a debit card in this card holder, and then I just remove them when I get home. I've got just a very simple dashboard. I had to make a calendar for the month of November because the 2024 calendar begins in December. So this is my DIY calendar for November, and it absolutely fits the hours that I am scheduled. Some really brief calendar notes that are time or date sensitive. It's got the 2024, 2025 annual mission, which I likely won't use at all. And then the calendar starts and it goes through. I was really amazed that they give you so many calendar pages. It's always curious to me. Of course, I'm going to buy a new calendar, so I'm not sure. I guess for future planning, right? But it goes all the way to March of 2024. So my only complaint about this calendar, if you're thinking about this and needing a calendar in it, is that the date is consistently on the upper right-hand side of the left page of the planner. So you can see January is the 1, February 2. I'm not sure, I guess because they wanted to have the to-do list over there. Otherwise, the format is simple. It's easily, it's not too busy like the weekly pages are. And then I just stamped the month on the side. I was going to go hunting for stickers, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need that bulk in here. So I just used some little letter stamps and stamped out the months. Then I've got a divider, and I've got some notes for work, some important information for work, and some, I thought I was going to use this for, carry it with me all the time, every day. I have to take these pages out. I'm going to move those into my weeks. And then I've just got some blank pages here for sketching or notes while I'm at work. I've got two of the folders in the back. One is for if I take a job subbing someplace in a district and I have information or hours that I want to record, I put those in this folder. And then this is for my my regular job that I have right now. I have a Traveler's Company pencil because I cannot use a pen at my job. So this is going to be a lovely lovely carry. My only concern about this is I might also have to carry a little pencil sharpener around with me because it's not a mechanical pencil, which is my preference, and I don't think that I've seen a pencil sharpener in any workplace in a red hot minute other than schools. So there's that. So that's what I carry. This just fits really nicely in that little fanny pack. I have not had any trouble with the elastic on this one. It does feel a little tighter, I think, than the other one. But I love it. I mean, it's so stinking cute, right? Okay, so that's this one. I'll put that one off to the side. All right, then the next one that I'm going to show you is this one. This is a Bible-sized notebook, and it is in, oh, sorry, did I say this is bridal leather green? This is Liscio leather in, they call it blue. It's actually a nice teal color. And this one is the Shiranami leather. I bought it pre-loved. It's supposed to have like a coating on the top of it that looks white. Maybe the person that I bought it from treated it and removed that coating. I don't know. I don't care. I really wanted to get going with Bible size because the other reason that I love these plotter planners is because they're so tiny and you cannot stuff them with things. They fit my groove as somebody who likes to compartmentalize things. I have to flip some pages here in my notebook because I actually have a sheet of notes. It's a compartmentalization extravaganza in my head. When I open my full planners that I have sectioned with fountain pen inks and art supplies and calendars and notes and sections for each person in my house, including the pets and the passwords, I easily get distracted in flipping through and looking at other sections. I want to do like upkeep on artwork or make a new dashboard, or I'll notice a page is needing to be updated and my mind is like, oh, pretty thing going that way, and it's just a very big distraction for me. I enjoy, and you know how people like to make checklists so that they can just check things off them? I kind of like the idea, and I've always enjoyed, I've got a whole bookshelf full of notebooks that are project specific, notebooks, right? Books, actually, like pages with books. I enjoy like pulling something off my shelf, attending to it, and that is the thing in that planner. And then when I'm done doing what I need to do, I get to close that book up and put it away. And it's a sense of accomplishment. If I'm going to move on and do something else, then I can find the next book, pull that out, work through it, and put that book away. I guess a great example of that, if you're watching my videos at all, would be the, three books that I have for fountain pens and inks. One is just an alphabetized list of the inks by the makers, and that's all that goes in that book. One is a book that has pens with inks in them, and then inks with having used different pens, so pen and ink book. And then the third one is ink swatches, and that one's just random. As inks come in, I just swatch them in that book so that I can see what the colors look like. And then I've added that fourth system with all the little cards in it, the folders that I put the little cards in so that I can see all the colors at one time, organized by colors. So each thing that I want a tool to get organized with has its own thing, and I enjoy that. I enjoy not having one book with everything in it. I can't tell you how many books, like notebooks, that I have that I've started, like thick ones, like a Hobonichi cousin sized book, and you open it up with plans on, oh, this is going to be lovely. This will be my book for these things, notes on projects or creativity on YouTube. And then enthusiastically you take notes for a couple of days. I do. And then that enthusiasm goes away, and 5, 6, 7 pages of a notebook in the front are used and the rest is blank. And if you're a person like me that gets a little bit picky about things, like pulling that notebook and continuing on using it for something else, those pages either have to be removed, they have to be covered up, or the notebook just sits with 6 pages used, unless you chop all the pages out and punch holes in them and move them into a ring planner. That's just me. So the idea, getting back to these plotters, the idea that this planner, even though there's 6 of these, I keep going through my stash and finding things that I think will work. These are just really thin, so I put them in here so that they don't get lost in the chaos that's going on. But the idea that this book could be just for finances and budgeting, and that's it. And then another one of these could be for some, I'll be broke. I'll be flat broke in getting plotters for the different things that I want them for. But I think that some of my other little personal rings that are larger size could also serve purposes. But I think that these, if I could have like 10 of these for the different things that I would want to use them for, I think that I would be in planner heaven, or in organization heaven, I guess. Okay, so that's what this is, and I don't have this set up fully yet. I'm still kind of playing with what I want this first one to be. It's likely going to have to multitask just a little bit because I don't have the money to buy 10 plotter planners anytime in the foreseeable future. So I just have some dividers. Again, I shopped my stash. I found old Moy River paper that had been tucked away in a box that I hadn't been using. Some dividers that I liked. Some bookmarks came with it. This was, again, purchased pre-loved, so I didn't have to pay the full price for it, so that was a win for me. Then I was, of course, interested in getting more planners, and I started looking at the website at the options and colors and leathers and everything, and there's really not another one that jumped out to me as what I would want to get. And then I went to Amazon Japan and I found this, and I thought that I might purchase it with the idea that maybe somebody here in the US would be interested in getting their hands on it. Sorry, I can hear my husband moving around the background here. But I'm totally smitten with this color, and it's another type of leather, and that's what we're going to talk about next. So this is another Bible size planner, and it will have, now I've got 2, so I've got two different planners for 2 different types of tasks. Again, it's just got paper in it right now. I'm still playing with the idea of what I'm going to do. I'm playing with making some of the things so that I don't have to purchase everything for both of the Bible planners. So I made one of the little folders out of glycine, I think, or tracing paper. I guess a fancy name. I don't know. Yeah. So that's that. So I have gone from 1 to 4 in a very quick amount of time, and I'm kind of not sad about it. I'm really excited, and I'm really loving these platter planners. All right, let me turn my page of notes, because the next thing, and I'm sorry this video is going to get long. It's already at 25 minutes, and I'll try to go quickly through the rest of the information. So let's talk a little bit, if you're thinking about purchasing a plotter, about the leather options. So I'll put these in order to the best of my recollection of price. And it's kind of unfair to put this one at the right-hand side, because for its size, I guess it's similar to everything else. It's just that this leather is only available in this size planner. So the first one is a Liscio leather. And it's steer cowhide leather. It's tanned, it's oil smooth Italian leather, top grain, made from cow shoulder. And how do I know this? Because I looked on the plotter website and I wrote notes so that I could share them with you. It is a smooth textured planner. It does show scratches and will show stains if you spill on it, just like any leather it's going to. So you can see that it's been tumbling around in my bag. It's gotten some love. The interior of this planner is smooth. It's definitely been treated, and the edges are finished. Okay. The flexibility is okay. It's stiff enough to hold the band, you know, it doesn't bend or warp, maybe just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that at all, but you can see how the edges come in. So the elastic is definitely pulling at the sides of the leather a little bit, but the leather is definitely stiff enough that it's not bothering me. Okay. The next one is the Pueblo leather, and this leather is brush finished. It's textured on the outside. It's according to the plotter website, it is the most dynamically aging of all of their leathers. It will darken with time. It will darken with your hand oil. It will darken with use. I'm assuming it's leather, so it will also bend. The edges are also finished on this planner. The interior is nice and smooth. It is also finished on this leather. It definitely feels comparatively just a little bit thicker than the Liscio leather is. I hope that was in focus. And I'm going to share with you the difference between these two with the elastic band closure in just a second. So this is beautiful. It's nice and thick and lovely and feels interesting if you're a texture person and you like, if you're tactile and like the feel of things. They all kind of offer something different. Okay, this one is the Shiranami leather, and it is a United States exclusive. It was made for the Japan Blue Project, and I looked up what that was online because I thought, oh, maybe that's like Project Red in the United States. No, it's just plotters plan to make exclusive things for the United States that were all in a blue colorway, if I understand correctly. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's indigo dyed leather with a white core and unique expression. The waxy white surface represents foamy waves, which renders to a deep indigo with age and use. And like I said, I think that maybe the previous owner did some conditioning or something with the top of this, because I don't have any foamy waves on mine and I'm fine with that. The interior of this Shiranami is definitely not as finished or polished or sanded as the other two leathers were. I'll set these like this so that you can still see them. The surface is definitely more similar to the Liscio, but the leather is unfinished around the edges, and I'm guessing that because of that, it's maybe just a little bit thinner and a little bit more pliable as far as a planner is concerned. I'm guessing, I don't own the coated, the pebbled leather that they have the option, so I'm thinking that that's the most flexible of all of their things. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Whereas these two hold the elastic, you can definitely see a bend, a more prominent bend when you put the elastic on this. So I'm going to see if this will work without putting that in the rings. Maybe. I also have some inserts in there, but it's definitely thinner and more pliable, flexible leather. Okay. And the last one is the bridle leather, and bridle leather only comes for the mini 5 size in the United States, as far as I know. Maybe you can get a different size planner in Japan made out of the bridle leather. I'm not sure. The interior is definitely not sanded. It's rough, or raw. The edges of this planner are they're not treated, but they look a little bit more maybe sanded, or as though they've done something with them comparatively to this one. It's definitely a thicker leather. So let's go ahead and do this right now. Let's put all of these together so that you can get an idea about the thickness, and I think that that's a great order to have them in, because you can really differentiate between all of them. I'll move this as close to the camera as I can possibly get it, just to get an idea which ones are finished, how the thickness of the different leathers, and you can really see the fuzziness of that bridle leather in this one also. So the disclaimer that I'm going to make about all of this is that I am not the plotter company, and I couldn't find any information on their website about their standards in making these different binders out of leather. I know that they say that no two pieces of leather are the same as far as wrinkles or stretch marks or any cow marks that the leather piece would have, but I also think that with that, some leather might be a little thicker or thinner, so it could very well be that you get if you were to order the Shiranami leather, maybe yours would be thicker just because that area of the cow or that piece of leather was a little thicker than mine was. So I'm sharing with you what I see in the planners that I have on my desk to share with you. Yeah, so there's that. I will put this real quickly. I'll put the elastic band on the Pueblo leather, and you can see that it holds the elastic without any bend really at all in the planner. Not that it won't with age and time and use, but it's definitely a more firm planner. And and I will say that mine, between my two that I have, flat with just a little bit of lift off the desk, whereas this one, they're both lie flat. In fact, the one that is, I guess, the thicker leather, this one's a little bit lifty, but I think that just some training, and I would likely be writing, sorry, it's moving away from me, writing with this in my hand to take notes anyways, so I'm not really concerned about that. Oh, that feels so good. Like to think about opening this up to take notes in it. It just fits in your hand beautifully to write on. It's just a lovely size. And last but not least, again, a little bit of a lift, but I think all of the plotter binders are designed to lay flat, especially if you flip open a page, right? And you have some weight holding the pages down. All right, so that's enough of that. We're at 35 minutes. If you are still here, you are a superstar. You're amazing. You are lovely. Probably saying, get on with it, Robin. All right, so the last thing we are going to talk about is punching holes. If you want to make your own inserts for these planners, I have something interesting to share with you. So the little mini 5 planner, when I got it, I was like, oh my gosh, those ring holes are so small. And I had a Rapesco hole punch that I was going to try to make holes for it. And look at the difference in size. So this is out of my Rapesco. This is the hole punch. And I think that this is a 6mm hole. Like the holes that it will punch are 6mm in diameter. Again, please, if I'm wrong, don't beat me up. But you can see the difference, right? Oh, I remember I was going to try it this way because the back of these are black and you can likely see that much better. So it's definitely bigger. So if you punch these little notebooks with this sized hole punch, there's going to be a lot more wiggling of pages on your rings. Funny thing, the narrow has the same teeny tiny little holes as the mini does, okay? But the Bible size is a little bigger. Interesting, huh? So here's the hole from my tool that I found that I'm going to share with you in just a second. Here's the two hole sizes and the 2 holes. This one's too small, this one's too big. So this is a 4mm hole punch. This is a 6mm hole punch. So if you want to have a hole punch the same size as your personal or Bible size plotter, you are looking for a 5mm hole punch. And I haven't started that because I feel like when you're moving up to personal size, this difference is not as big as this difference, if that makes any sense. And like, that's a huge hole compared to this little itty bitty one. So this is what you're looking for if you want to make little holes so that the pages don't fly around in your narrow or in your mini. And I'm guessing the mini 6 is going to be the same as these two. Maybe if somebody has a mini 6, you could look at yours and let me know. And then the personal is bigger. And I'm guessing the A5 would also be bigger. So you can use this for this is a Rapesco hole punch, and I think everybody by now in the planner community likely has one, if not more than one of those. But look what I found on Amazon. It's a 4mm hole punch, and it punches 3 holes at a time, and you can make holes for the personal pocket mini A7 and A5, but I will only use it for my narrow and my mini 5. So this is what the package looks like on Amazon, and I will put a link below to the product if I can find it. I think that I paid 12 something, or it was under $15. Maybe it was a little over with tax if it was at 15, but I couldn't be happier with this. It's just, it's the right sized hole for the little the smaller plotter planners. So that is my my find, my happy find, and my rambling about holes and hole punches. I never thought that I'd see the day that I would spend time talking about the diameters of holes for planners. But there we are, people, and I love it. So, at 40 minutes, I'm going to call it quits. Please, if you have any questions or comments, or you feel like I've forgotten something, which I'm sure I have, because even though I have notes off to the side, I've forgotten to look at them carefully. Leave a comment below. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again soon.